Cześć, siema. Jesteśmy tutaj z Stevenem Hoodem, to jest główny projektant gry F1 2011. Hello Steven, first of all I'd like to ask you what was the reception of the previous F1 game? Are you happy with the sales?
Very happy with the sales, yeah. I mean, it went really, really well for us. When you're making a game like that, you're trying to return Formula 1 back to the fore and trying to make it popular again. After, let's be honest, it had been declining for a little while. You're always a little bit unsure as to how well it's going to go down. But we managed to sell 5 times more than anybody else did previously. Loads of sales, a lot of success for it, and that kind of made us realise we're on the right path and that we can keep going with that, and that's what 2011 is all about.
And can you give us some numbers, or is it top secret?
Top secret, but there were a lot.
Okay, so let's move on to F1 2011. And first of all, what are the changes in gameplay or new features?
So the big thing that we wanted to do when we finished 10, and we were talking about what we're going to do for 11, was not only try and rebalance and redefine everything that we did previously. We don't just want to leave anything, we want to improve everything. And add a load of new features, because we're launching a game just 12 months later. There's got to be a reason for loads of different players to want to buy the new game. So very early on people were saying, well, what are they going to do in a year? Well, we've got cooperative championship, which is a big thing for us. That means you and a friend can be teammates in any team that you choose. Maybe you want to be teammates at Mercedes and you play throughout the season doing the practice and the qualifying together, trying to win the constructors for your team, trying to win the driver's title. That's cool. It's not just fighting against your AI teammate. When it's that competition amongst your friend now is cool. But in order
Sorry to interrupt you, it's going to be online?
It's going to be online, yeah. Co-op Championship is online only. But offline we've got split screen play, which is a big thing for us, because a lot of people said, I want to go around my friend's house and we want to play Formula 1, but we have to put some other game on. Now you can play split screen, which is cool. We've also got 24 cars online, which is a big deal for Formula 1. Everybody that watches Formula 1 knows it's about 24 cars. Last year we had 12, now we've got 24. We've also got multiplayer objectives, which are quite cool. So we've got more people in the lobbies, more people in races, but everybody's going to be of a different skill level. Not everybody can win. You get some experienced players in the room, you get some new players in the room, but now they get an objective, and it basically might say, try and finish in 15th. So if you can do better than that, you get more XP, you get more of a reward, your rank goes up, and if you're the best player, then everybody's expecting you to win, and you've got the pressure on you. We've also got data night cycles around Abu Dhabi, so it changes throughout the race session itself. You see the hotel lights are on. Everybody was asking for that previously. The big thing that everybody's chasing me on all the time, safety cars in. Everybody's been asking out for that over the past year, and we kept saying maybe, maybe, maybe. Now we can finally say yes, it's in. That really changes the races, and we're really pleased to give that to people this year.
And how will it work, the safety car? Because I think it will not be available in all races.
It's not available in all races, yeah. I mean, we try to do this thing where we're saying 20% and over is a certain type of game or a certain race experience, because 20% in the last game meant you had to do pit stop, you had to listen to the tyre rules and change your tyres during the race. And then below that, you're going for more vanilla, a cleaner race experience. It's a lot easier, you don't have to do the pit stops, there'll be no safety car enabled in that mode. It's that kind of stuff where you know if you're going for a longer race, then you're going to bring the safety car out. It's triggered by, for example, a collision, a car or a number of cars blocking the racing line. That can call the safety car out. If there's too much of a huge accident, let's say into the first corner, that can cause a red flag, and then the race will be restarted in race order on the grid. So we've got all those things, and we've also looked after different skill gamers when following the safety car, so that nobody can ruin the experience for anyone.
And will you implement some kind of balance into the gameplay? I mean, in the matter of timing or pit stops? Well, with the previous game, pit stops were, well, I think a big problem for many players. What about the new game?
Well, we decided very early on to rewrite the pit stop system. So we weren't just trying to fix the fault. We looked at it, and we're very critical ourselves as well, and we thought, can we do a better job with this for the people we've got available now? And the answer was yes, and we took the decision to rewrite the pit stops, because we want to expand that in the future as well. In order to do that, we needed to rewrite it, which means you can get rid of any of the mistakes or errors in the last one, so it's a cleaner experience. And now we're getting these pit stops where you're released right behind somebody and you're right on these cars. You're never really stuck in a pit lane, so I think it'll work a lot better this year.
And have you been thinking about 3D mode? It's getting more and more popular. For example, Gran Turismo 5 looks really awesome in 3D. Maybe in the future, do you plan to implement such a feature?
Yeah, I mean, I'd never say no to anything. I'd like to do that as it becomes more and more popular, I think. So a lot of people say to us, well, what are you going to add to Formula One next year and the year after? We've got thousands of ideas. I don't think we can ever stop trying to fill us in. One of those things would be 3D, and I'd love to do that in the future.
I have also some questions from our readers. And the first question is, do you plan some kind of DLC?
Not for this year, but the one that we're often asked about is classic DLC. For example, getting the likes of Senna's car in there, or Prost, or Mansell. We'd love to do that. We're Formula One gamers and fans and racing fans ourselves, and everybody keeps talking about classic DLC. And we're preparing the game for that. We have this mode called Time Attack now, which is basically like a time trial, but they're determined scenarios, locked scenarios. For example, scenario 1 might be you're in a Mercedes, you have the option tyres on, you're around the Nürburgring, it might be raining, you can't change the car setup, you can't change anything on the car, but it's about your skill and your ultimate lap time versus your friends. It's really built around that kind of social competition. In the future, what we'd love to do is plug DLC into those, so you could download a new pack and then it's a new challenge amongst your friends.
So it will be possible to play, for example, Ayrton Senna or Mansell?
If everything goes to plan in the future, I would love to be able to do that. You can't do it in 2011, but we're the same as everybody else. Let's do it one day.
Okay, so it will be great. Also, one more question. Will it be possible to save replays during multiplayer matches? And what about, will you be able to see the race after you crash?
Yes, set to the second one, an absolute yes in terms of the spectator mode. That's a big requested feature this year, because previously in 10, if you remember, if you crashed out during a long race, you'd sit there and you were just watching the race results. Not the most exciting thing to do. Now you've got spectator mode, you can jump on board of all the different cars, change the camera angles. There's something to get involved in. We joke in the offices and say, you almost become your friend's race engineer because you can see what's going on in a race. We don't have the saving of the replays at the moment, but that is something we want to get in, because I think as we expand spectator mode, that gives real cause for maybe saving out your own replays and uploading them in the future.
And one last question, the Formula One will also come to, I think, 3DS, yes, and PlayStation Vita. What will be the differences?
Well, it's worked on by a separate team. It's kind of, we're not trying to do that ourselves in the internal studio. We've got Sumo Digital, who had a great success with the Wii title doing that, so it's given its own resource, so they can try and make the most of it. We have a lot of contact with them because we're slightly ahead of their schedule. They see what we're trying to do with the larger game for perhaps a more hardcore audience, and they're taking some of those ideas and then winding them down. For example, a lot of our fun, we think, is based around having the safety car come out, the longer races and all the strategy and tactics. That's probably not going to translate so well to the smaller devices, but they take some of the key ideas. So I think this is more of a portable experience, and ours is more really true to Formula One.
I've got one important question about the bigger version of the game. Live the Life. It was a great feature, and do you plan to expand it in some way?
Yes, I mean, Live the Life. We still want to push that forward. We're never really going to let that die. I think it's cool. Like, the original concept is really not rewarding the player with loads of text that says, well done, you've got 1,000 points, but seeing things change in the real world. It doesn't take anything away from the main game, and I think they live well together. So now what we've done is taking a lot of feedback from last year's one about, for example, the interviews. People were saying, I was answering these questions, I don't know if that was a good thing, should I have said this or should I have said that? Now, one of the small things we've added is press clippings and newspaper reports and emails from your agents. So now, when you've been saying something to the press and you think, oh, okay, I think Ferrari will really love those comments, you might see a headline later and think, I didn't really mean to say that. That's not how I wanted the news stories to come out. So now you can better manipulate the media because you can see what they're writing about you and the other stars in Formula One.
And will there be some differences between the Xbox, PS3 and PC version, or it will be exactly the same in matter of gameplay, of course?
It's going to be exactly the same in terms of gameplay, yeah. I mean, even right down to the technical features. One of the cool things that we've got is, because we're working on 3 platforms, a lot of the stuff tends to sometimes lead on the PC because it's got a lot of power there if you upgrade your machine. But then over time and during development, you're able to optimize those things for the respective consoles. So it ends up being a very coherent game across all 3 platforms. So I think we've worked well this year with the experience of 2010. I think people will see it as a suitable upgrade.
So it all sounds really exciting, and I'm sure gonna grab it. It sounds like a lot of fun, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much.